from the Litchfield Hills to Long Island Sound. You are watching Live with Lumi and Michelle. And now your host, MicheleMarieDalene.
Okay, you guys wanted a different background. And here we go. Good morning, everybody. Today we have a new topic we're going to cover. And that is, we're going to talk a little bit about autistic spectrum disorder, and how it affects particularly women. Because it doesn't seem that there's a lot of descriptions on how autistic spectrum disorder affects women. It seems that the most popular topic is boys. So I'm going to look up some quick list of traits of autistic spectrum of women. So we have a list to go with here. Traits of autistic spectrum in woman. Alright, because I think, so there we go. Here, I want a list. I don't want, okay, Healthline, perfect. I'm going to use this as a list, and we'll go through these pieces and see how many of these traits we can all understand. I didn't want to go to video because, first of all, video would suck. I mean, I want to go through here to a little bit talk about autism, and I thought we would cover this as a topic today, since people do like a topic, and I figure we could cover something that explains my autism spectrum disorder, or Asperger's, in a way that would be easier for you to understand, among women. So let me pull this up here. Windows capture, here we go. Perfect. Alright. So let's get this piece on the screen, and then we'll go through and say good morning to everybody as well. Because we haven't really had much of a topic lately, and I figured we would take a look at some things here. We're flying pretty much. Okay, so let's take a look at this guidelines here, and see if we can help each other understand this a bit better. Autism spectrum disorder is a condition that affects the way people behave, socialize, and communicate with others. This disorder is commonly referred to simply as autism. Speaking of that, is my camera pointing towards me? Kind of. That's better. Alright. Okay, so but autism symptoms and the severity differ between the sexes? Now, that sounds like a great question, considering everybody talks about autism among boys and men, but it doesn't seem like the women get much talk about. Because autism symptoms be severity between the sexes. Eek! More junk mail showing up on my screen. I know I should install a pop-up blocker. The sexes, between the sexes, among children, autism is about 4 times more common in boys than in girls. However, a 2013 study involving about 2,500 autistic children suggests it often goes undiagnosed in girls. This could explain why autism appears to be more common in boys. Why does autism often go undiagnosed in girls? Autism in women usually really is autism in women really different than autism in men. Read a little before potential answers to these questions and others about autism in women. What are the symptoms of autism? Autism symptoms usually appear early in childhood before the age of 2. For example, infants may or may not make eye contact. In some cases, they might show differences toward the parents. Around 2, they may start to show signs of aggression, fail to respond to their name, or start taking steps backwards and their language development. Okay, social command. Okay, let's just go through the list of symptoms because I don't want to go into all the details. So I'll go through this in a minute. Autistic children and adults often have difficulty connecting with others. This can result in a range of symptoms such as inability to look at or listen to people, no response to their name, resistance to touching, a preference for being alone, inappropriate or no full facial gesture, an ability to start a conversation or keep one going, excessive talk about a favorite subject with no regards to the reactiveness of actions of others, speech problems or unusual speech patterns, inability to express emotions or recognize them in others, trouble recognizing simple social cues, difficulty following simple directions, inability to predict someone's responses or reaction, inappropriate social interaction, and ability to recognize nonverbal forms of communications. Okay, behavioral pattern symptoms is autistic people often have repetitive patterns that are hard to break. Some of these patterns include performing repetitive movements such as rocking back and forth, developing routines or rituals that can't be disrupted, self-harming including biting and head banging, repeated words and phrases, becoming extremely fascinated with a particular subject matter, fact, or detail, experiencing sensations of light, sound more or less powerfully than others, fixating on particular objects or activities. Okay, that's enough for right now. Let's just chew on that. Kind of like chewing gum. Let's just chew on that. That's a lot of stuff right there. Let's talk about myself, my situation. But maybe you might wonder why I yawn in the videos. It's not because I'm physically tired. It's often because I'm emotionally becoming drained. And why am I becoming drained? It's because my whole life involves around the computer and computer stuff and social interaction. Unfortunately, the problem with me is when I get too much into the computer, I get, and social cues and socialness, I'm terrible at it. Okay, that's just the reality. However, here's one thing that these pieces often point out is that women are better at masking their symptoms than the men, but the point is it still affects us in a pretty bad way. The proclivity to be alone is because sometimes it's hard for us to interact with neurotypical people. We have a hard time with it. Like I said, social cues, socially awkward. They're not really necessarily bad people. Yeah. That's just it. Well, my job is to protect Michelle. And I know that, for example, Michelle feels very vulnerable around strangers. So Michelle will basically withdraw within herself. And that's where I'm there, to act kind of as to protect her. Not saying that Michelle does that all the time. Sometimes Michelle gets to know you. She'll come out and she'll interact with you directly more often. Yeah. Building emotional connections is tricky when you just don't connect on a deep level. Yeah, that too. And the other thing is that a lot of people with autistic spectrum disorder are very intelligent people. They're smart. They study hard. They work hard. They play hard. But for example, in a loud party with loud music, lots of noise, lots of smells, whatever, some people, autism, can't handle that. And they start to withdraw. I'm one of those people. If I'm in a small group of maybe like 3 or 4 people, you see this even on the panels. If I have 1 or 2, I'm okay. But then you get 5, 6, 7 people on the panel, the first thing I do is I go silent. And that's because I don't know how to handle when you have a bigger crowd. Even if you brought them on, you're still kind of like, well, I'm gonna go quiet now. Let you guys talk amongst yourselves. But that's kind of foolhardy. But that's what we do. Okay. I don't have no trouble communicating with you. And I work in a very small group, Krista. That's why. Plus, I trust you and I have confidence working with you and Tiger Kitty. Both of you. I can work with both of you. But if you put me in a room, particularly with a man, for example, Noodles, there's a feel of threat. Even if he's not implying, even if he's not trying to do threat. So there's a fear. And that, again, is where I will distance myself from that kind of situation. So, but that could also be for a variety of reasons besides autistic spectrum. But if you're not comfortable with a certain thing, you're going to distance yourself. But yeah, small groups usually autistic spectrum people define. But when you get large groups, large parties, no. I think. Do all autistic people have another person? No, but they do often have what they call support systems. Maybe, for example, a friend that helps out, and external sources. Yeah, like friends that might help mediate for that person. I would definitely say that one of the worst things is having autistic spectrum disorder or Asperger's is being isolated because you want to be part of a social network, but you got to find the right social network. It's almost like that song "Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places." We want that. We want that socialness, but we don't know if we're getting it the right way, and then we try going out there and, for example, kind of like the song talks about looking for love, talking about going to bars looking for friends and lovers, because it could talk about relationships and aspects too, because that is also a really tough challenge. But if you go, for example, someone might say, "Hey, let's go to a heavy duty concert at a bar." First of all, I don't like loud noise like that to the point where I'm willing to subject myself to huge 3,000 watt Class D amplifiers, musicians playing electric guitars and electronic instrumentation, and yelling at the top of their lungs, or the smell of beer and alcohol being poured. That just is too much for me. So I tend to go, well, let's go to a chamber ensemble instead. Because I would rather have a softer music than a loud hard rock band. Not really so much of a fear of threat, as long as he just doesn't start screaming at me. The minute he starts screaming at me is when the fear of threat comes in, and that's when I basically withdraw. That's when I withdraw, because of that feel. When any man, especially men, when they start screaming at me, that's when you'll see me withdraw from the situation emotionally. Well, I'm not interested in buying followers and stuff, but thank you very much for offering, Mr. Spammer. But, no, I'm not going to block you. The issue you're describing is someone I think lots of people feel who don't know Asperger's, who don't have Asperger's. Yeah, but I think it's more pronounced for people who do have Asperger's, because Asperger's affects people a lot differently with the way we are wired. For example, you'll know, like, we have a very strong aversion to changes of routine, like the article is mentioning here. They have a routine, they do certain things that they do, and they get really upset when that routine is totally disrupted. For example, this morning, my last Cumberland Farms cup, I'm talking about the styrofoam ones, finally, fell apart and I had to throw it out. Now I'm like, where's my coffee? Well, my coffee was sitting on the kitchen table, obviously, because I don't want it over here because of the cat. But because it's not here at my desk, it feels like it's kind of awkward that my coffee's not on my desk. Instead, I have to go to the kitchen table to drink it. Asperger's, I'm confused. Well, it's named Asperger's. It was named after the German doctor that diagnosed it. It's part of the autistic spectrum disorder, or ASD. It's actually pronounced Aspergers, Asperger's. There's a P as in Pop-Tart, not B as in butter or beach ball. Okay? But every time I pronounce it, I keep pronouncing it Asperger's or Asperger's. I keep forgetting there's a difference between the P and the B. But there's Asperger's. Asperger's. Okay, that's another way to say it. Okay, it's named after the German doctor that discovered it. Yeah, I hate it when my routine gets disrupted. I wonder if I'm autistic. I get really upset if my routine... It could be. A lot of women are, and they don't all know it. I mean, it's very common now. I mean, Asperger's, autistic spectrum. Some people get really mad when they combine Asperger's and with the autistic spectrum. Because people who have Asperger's are probably like, oh, you know what? We're not autistic. We're better than them. And yet, some will say, and this is what the American Psychiatric Association said, is, well, you guys have a lot of the same traits as people who have autism. And so, we want to simplify the DSM-5, so we're going to merge the two together. Because it'll simplify the diagnosis. I'm not really too concerned about that, but I certainly am going to point out that I'm a high-functioning autistic. I'm not a low-functioning, because there's different degrees of functioning. Hey, Michelle, I can give you a travel mug. I have plenty of them. At the next time I see you, next Friday, I'll give you a travel mug so that you have one next to your desk. That would be great. Thank you. I'm also eventually going to pick up some of my own mugs from my online store. After all, the Silvermoon radio mug or the main mug or maybe a couple of my t-shirts wouldn't be so bad. There might be, Michelle, but I've been to autistic day programs. I'm not a doctor. I've been to a lot of... Okay. From my third-hand experience, you're a lot more social than many diagnosed with the spectrum. Yeah, because I use what they call a mask. Okay, a mask is something women in particular are better at masking it than the men, but deep down, they still get worn out because they have to wear that mask all the time. So, in fact, the article here points that out, is that women are less likely to be diagnosed. Let me just go through a few more behavioral patterns, symptoms. I just want to see if you have this one. Some of the patterns include performing repetitive movements such as rocking back and forth, developing routines like rituals that can't be disrupted, self-harming, including biting and head-banging. It's not everybody, obviously. Repeating words and phrases, becoming extremely fascinated with a particular subject matter, fact or detail. Yep, it's me. extreme sensations to light, sound, more or less powerful than others, fixating on a particular object activity, having particular food preferences or aversions to food textures. Okay? How are the symptoms different in women? The symptoms in autism in women aren't very different from those in men. However, researchers believe that women and girls are more likely to camouflage or hide their symptoms. This is particularly common among females at the high functioning end of the spectrum. Common forms of camouflage include forcing yourself to make eye contact during conversation, preparing jokes or phrases ahead of time to use in a conversation, mimicking social behavior of others, imitating expressions or gestures. While both autistic males and autistic females can camouflage their symptoms, it appears to be more common in women and girls. This could explain why they're less likely to be diagnosed as autistic. It is important to note that the study looking at the differences between autism in women and men have been very small or flawed. Experts still don't have any definitive information about these differences, including whether they are real or just a result of camouflaging. A large review comparing behavior between autistic males and females reported that autistic females may present lower cognitive. Reported that autistic females may present lower cognitive ability and adaptive function, but generally levels are similar to autistic males. Additionally, autistic females were reported to have increased externalizing behaviors, but another study reported that autistic males have greater externalizing behavior. Okay, well, first of all, I'm not sure what they mean by externalizing, but I don't know. I don't think women are more cognitively impaired. I don't think that's even the answer. Give me a minute, guys, with the phones, okay? Okay. Sounds like me. You can ask your therapist to actually test to see if you may have autistic spectrum disorder, Krista. So why don't you ask your doctor if they can give you a test to know if you have autistic spectrum? You might. I think Ed does. I know Ed does. Ed has many of the traits of autistic spectrum in men. So I did notice that with him. And I told that to him too. And he said, well, I was diagnosed as a kid of being ADHD. I said, Ed, that's one of the biggest problems with autism. A lot of people that were misdiagnosed as having ADHD, but they're not. They're just regular, everyday people that have autistic spectrum disorder. Your doctor, your therapist can diagnose that. And I know that your therapist does have access to the ability to diagnose it. So, yes, I would definitely look into it. Yeah. So, phones are on now. But what it also means is that sometimes when it's one of the reasons why the phone calls don't always go well with me is because sometimes I don't understand the difference between what they're saying is a joke or serious, and I get kind of wrapped up in it. Go ahead. Shut up. Alright. I've seen and spoke to autistic people and they follow a script, and if they're surprised by dialogue, they are completely thrown off. But it appears you can converse in the flight. No, because actually I have a lot of the traits you just said. If they follow a script and if the conversation takes a turn, I can be totally thrown off very easily. But again, there's the masking. I can actually I've learned to have to kind of adapt and think on my feet, which is what I do, especially for this show. I have to on the show because things change quick here. But if you, for example, were interviewing me in a conversation, I may have to stop and think about what I'm going to say. So you might notice a few moments of pause as I'm trying to grab information, put it together in a sentence. How you doing, Corey? I'm just better at basically, recovering than some. But it doesn't mean that I don't have the symptoms you just mentioned. Coming to talk to my therapist when I see her on Zoom or the phone. Okay. Thanks, Gianni. I also know that there's not a lot of people with autistic spectrum that will even do a live stream like this. A lot of them won't, especially the men. The men, if they do, they're not normally going to be interacting with the audience as much because for them, it would be very difficult to do because they don't have the ability to do what this article mentioned about masking or camouflaging. But let me point one thing out to you. Camouflaging is still energy intensive. If you ever do it as long as I do for days and days and days, it really wears you down. Go ahead.
This message is solely intended for.
This message is for Keith Johnson.
Who are you talking about, please?
Your previously agreed upon agreement has declined. It may be a misunderstanding. Should this be the case, please press 0 now to talk with your assigned representative.
Okay, that's just a pre-recorded message. Just a pre-recorded message. Bullshitting me all this lovely day. Just an old-fashioned bullshitted message. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah.
Is this the mean lady that likes to hang up on people?
Are you the old bat who seems to keep thinking I'm asking the same stupid question?
Yeah, but today I wanted to tell you something that I've been thinking about.
You keep asking me the same old stupid question.
Nah, today I want to tell you that I think you're very brave.
And what's your question?
I said you're brave. You're brave, ma'am.
Oh, I know I'm brave. Thank you.
Yeah, you're brave because you keep pushing that life alert button and you think we don't know where you live. But we know exactly where you live. So if you keep pushing that button down, we're going to have to send someone over, okay?
Enough already. Thanks for calling. God. All right, so let me get the panel up on the screen, too. Now, like I said, is when I'm on one or two people on the panel, I do okay. But when you got like 5, 6 people on the panel, it's like much harder to keep up with it. Okay, so wait for Nightbot here to give me the information. How you doing? I have to be honest, I kind of wish I was neurologically typical in some ways because it might help me be able to interact better with them, the NTs. But I really don't know if it would necessarily be totally great. Okay, just looking here. Hold the line. I don't have a life alert button. Okay, first of all, we don't have any of those systems here. I mean, some of the people may have them in their apartments, but my apartment doesn't have one, so. Just as calling, 911 or 999 or 112 is serious business. I don't even use those emergency services unless it's an emergency. There's no reason to. I don't really particularly like this background that much, but people wanted me to put a different background up, so I put this one up. But see what they said about, having a particular routine does apply to me. I'm gonna go get some coffee since obviously that's not here. It's in the kitchen, so I'll be right back. And I'll talk to you at the same time. Oh, I think I still got some coffee in the cup. I know I made 2 cups this morning. This is my second cup. I'll have some Diet Sprite since it doesn't take a cup. Although Ed would like it when he used a cup. The problem is, one cup we have is porcelain, and I don't feel like having a china cup over here at the desk. Cat comes over here and knocks things over. Unaware. He's knocking things over. So, let's see. So, I don't really. So the background is kind of interesting. I still haven't mastered doing the alphabet yet in Bilge. That's an interesting thought. Go ahead. Yeah.
What you doing?
What should you what?
What you doing?
Bear with.
What you doing?
I am just looking at my stupid background.
You got any boat?
Any what?
Boat?
No.
Drinking an awful lot of water there.
Well, it's Diet Sprite, actually.
It's Diet Sprite?
Yeah, Diet Sprite. Caffeine-free Diet Sprite. Basically flavored water.
You want a life alert button?
No, thank you. First of all, yeah, I like this stuff, but honestly, it's just water, primarily, with flavoring in it. It's not really I know, it gives me gas. That's obvious. So, no, I don't think I would knock it over before. I would knock over the cat knocks over. Rusty's tipped over my tea a few times, my coffee a few times. Oh yeah, and this is another Asperger's trait. Autism, Asperger's trait. Asperger's trait is clumsiness, which is pretty much just flavored water. It's not really that super exciting. But it tastes good though, especially when it's hot. So anyway, covering Asperger's. I actually think there's a lot of things about the symptoms that people don't really know. I heard that senile dementia has something to do with soda too, especially with things such as things like certain types of neuronutritive sweeteners seem to exasperate senile dementia in the human mind and how it affects the brain function. I don't have a lot of detail on that, but I do know that there are people, for example, who drink a lot of Diet Coke. They seem to say it affects their cognitive abilities to do certain things and also can prematurely shorten their lives, but I don't have a clear definition of what research confirms that. What I do know is that there are some people who drinking aspartame, it actually, by the way, for those of you who don't know, aspartame will break down into formaldehyde in a relatively warmer environment. So, and formaldehyde was used for preservative of corpses. So I wonder if people who drink, some people used to jokingly say, this is a joke now, but I don't know, maybe there's some truth to it. You know, I drink a lot of Diet Coke, so maybe that's why I live so damn long. Maybe I'm being preserved when it turns into formaldehyde. Yeah, well, maybe not. I don't know. That's a great question, though. How does the artificial sweeteners affect our well-being? Yeah, well, that would make sense. Yeah, because it also disables your body's sensational fullness, as does high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup disables the body's sensational fullness. So you don't know when you've had your fill of food and you think you're still hungry, and so you keep eating more and more and more. But that's great for sales of food, but it's bad because you can't tell when you've reached your limit. Well, I tend to drink. I kind of like using Saccharine better, even though there's obviously questions about is Saccharine necessarily any safer than aspartame. But the thing is trying to find soda with Saccharine in the United States is like trying to pull a hen's teeth. You really can't. However, it's funny because soda fountain soda at McDonald's is often consists of both Saccharine and aspartame in the same soda. However, the bottled soda is strictly aspartame. Why is that? I don't know. I can tell the difference between Diet Coke from the fountain versus Diet Coke from the bottle. Because Diet Coke from the fountain, I can taste that Saccharine in there, and I can taste it, but it's not really prevalent. But in the store, you just can't find the Saccharine in the soda. Um, so what are you trying to tell us? Like I said, I don't know if aspartame, for example, affects the people's mind the same way that they say that saccharin does or not. And that there is questions about if saccharin or aspartame is better for you. In addition to, there's been some strange but inconclusive studies showing that aspartame could shorten your lifespan. But I have no proof on that right now. Now, also, what could be related to the autism spectrum could using artificial sweeteners, this is my hypothesis, I haven't seen an article to prove it, be increasing the symptoms of Asperger's autistic spectrum. I don't know. That's a great question. Well, it is flavored water. Diet Sprite is pretty much flavored filtered water. That's no joke. I mean, it's not even got any caffeine in it. It's interesting to think about, but it's true. It's just carbonated water with flavoring. Having worked in food service and changing the syrups, I can tell you, there's not much to the Diet Sprite soda box. They don't use as much in the mixing to make the flavoring as they do for the colas. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, this is Lenny.
Yeah, what?
Oh, yes. Someone did say last week, someone did call last week about the same thing. Was that you?
What do you know about Asperger's?
Well, it's funny that you should call because my third eldest, Larissa, she was talking about this just last week, and she is very smart. I'll give her that because she was the first in the family to go to university, and she passed with distinctions. We're all quite proud of her. Yes. So she was saying that I should look into this sort of thing. So what more can you tell me about it?
Basically, one of the things with people with autistic spectrum and Asperger's is something that you just did, which totally threw me over the cuckoo's nest, is you read on a long sentence and keep them relatively short.
Oh, good. Yes. Well, that does sound good. I mean, you have been very patient with an old man here. It's something that I've been told that I should be looking at. My third eldest, Larissa, she, I think I mentioned Larissa before. Yes, she said that I should be going for something like this. What is most appropriate for the time, and I guess whatnot. Sorry, could you just hang on for 1 second here? Hang on.
Okay. All right, thank you. Bye. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. But like I said, I don't have. I don't really like to drink a lot of soda, but I do once in a while. But also tea, you got to be careful with tea too, because a lot of tea growing regions. This is from the Brew now. Brew said this: a woman would drink 100 tea bags to a pot of tea for 15 years and got herself fluoride poisoning. And the reason is a lot of places where tea leaves are grown. There's a lot of fluoride. There's a lot of fluorine in the soil, and the plant absorbs fluorine. So, of course, what she said, 100 tea bags a day for 15 years. I cannot imagine drinking 100 tea bags a day in tea. That's one expensive teacup. I mean, I'm sure she's making at least a pot of what? 14 cups, maybe? That's still a lot of tea. Oh, man, somebody here, I don't know who this is, but yes. Oh, you didn't answer, Michelle. Oh. Yes.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm calling to kind of register a little bit of a complaint. I know you've been talking about using your snow magic powers, and I need you to knock it off. This unseasonably cool spring is wreaking havoc on my crops, and if I can't grow enough wheat to feed my cattle, I'm going to get destroyed this year.
My season already ended. It already ended on March 21st. March 20th of this year,
Well,
actually.
then why is it still in the 40s here, man?
I don't know. You need to find out who the spring steward is because I'm not sure. Who is one that's not growing?
It's not anything that...
You know...
Well, I mean...
No, you're still working hard winter wheat, right?
Well, I'm trying to start planting corn. I know a lot of people like their beef to be grass-fed today, but there's still a market for corn-fed beef. It tends to be a little bit, have a little bit more fat and more marbling in your ribeye steak, and people tend to like that a little bit better.
Yeah, but right now, like you said, the corn's going to have a shorter growing season this year, I think.
I can't plant it because the temperature's too damn cold, and so if you're doing something to cool down the temperatures, I need you to knock it off.
Well, I can't knock it off because it's not my season. I can try to reach out to my supervisor and find out if she can find out what the spring steward's plan is. But I don't right now. It's not my season, so I am technically. My work is seasonal, so pretty much my season ends on around the 20th of March. And we're already coming into May now.
I know, we're coming into May and it's still cold as fuck outside. It's pissing me off.
Well, what's your location? What's your 20?
I'm in Des Moines, Iowa.
Oh, Iowa. Okay, you're in the northern climate.
Not actually in the city. I mean, more in the. I'm a country boy. If you couldn't already tell.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, Iowa. Right now, you're in the northern plains. So you're right now because of the situation. The fact is that the weather is from Canada is still coming down and keeping you cool right now. Because the northern flow of the warmth isn't come up yet from the south.
Put a hex on that Justin Trudeau bitch? Can you put a hex on Justin Trudeau? I mean, that guy's a little bitch.
I guess in some way you could say he's just basically screwing you over, but it's not really him. It's what they call the Arctic Oscillation, or the AO.
Is it?
Right now, normally the AO has a negative indices, which keeps it pretty much wrapped up right around the Arctic. But when it has becomes positive, it's got a positive AO, which means Was it positive or negative? Which one is it? If it's negative, I think it's more spread out. Oh, okay. If it's positive, it's more or less contained. Okay, so either way, Arctic colder air is spread out further than it should be. Yeah. Okay. So the problem is that means that until the Arctic oscillation, for example, totally goes back into the polar regions, it's going to mess you up. Because that's also going to mess up the whole jet stream.
Okay, am I talking to Lumi or Michelle right now?
Well, right now you're talking to me. Lumi was just talking to me in the background about the Arctic oscillation.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't
That's
have
okay,
good
don't worry
hearing
about
or
it.
good eyesight because I'm old. Is it because Justin Trudeau is secretly Fidel Castro's son that this is happening?
No.
I mean, it seems like every time these global warming morons get together, God puts a blizzard on them.
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's talk about climate change. First of all, there is a climate change going on, but it's not what they think it is. It's not going to get super hot. You're not going to be seeing 100 feet rise to sea levels, but you are going to see increased snowfall as the Earth is going into a cooling phase, not a warming phase. So all they're doing by trying to tell everybody to switch to non-greenhouse gas production facilities is it's going to make you freeze to death because there'll be less heat, less solar activity for less solar power to run your resistance electric heaters. If you want to seriously keep warm, especially in these later days, you need to consider heating with fossil fuel. Because energy pound for pound.
Can we just burn some hippies instead? That'd be the best solution. Just burn some hippies for heat.
No, I'm just saying is like, sure you should use renewable resources like trees, for example. Wood's good for heat. The problem is that the wood has to be properly maintained to make sure the management so you don't strip your forest bare just making firewood. Also, you just saw in Tennessee a major wildfire start. And of course, we've seen those also in California. I'm thinking is that alone.
Yeah, but I thought those were caused by those goddamn millennials doing stupid gender reveal parties.
No. No. I mean, it has happened, though, but not in this case. Have a good day. Is that Hank Hills? I don't know, guys. But they don't have a plan. The spring steward sucks. I don't know. I don't know what the spring steward is planning on. But it has been cool, even in Connecticut. Okay. It is now late April. And usually by now the temperature is at least 20 degrees Celsius. But right now it hasn't even been 20 degrees Celsius on a regular basis. It's been a couple warm days, but not close to normal for this time of year. Unfortunately, when you try to look up the average transit almanacs from the National Weather Service, that information is not being shared. Why? I don't know. It seems like the National Weather Service doesn't want you to see that currently the trends of the weather in my area is not at all as warm as it should be. Versus a couple years ago, they would tell you that graph. You would be able to see it. It was actually good enough that you could actually almost predict it, what was going to come on. But that's not the case anymore. So the government is not giving me the baseline information to go by. But maybe I can find out. Hold on a minute. Let me try something with Siri on my computer here. Hold on a minute. What is the average temperature for Winston, Connecticut for this time of year?
Here's what I found.
Okay. So far, you haven't found me nothing. No, they're
By
really
the way,
seriously. They're not showing
how
me.
is Ed doing these days?
He's doing okay. He's in the bedroom right now taking a nap. He plans to go with me to CVS later on today. Siri, I need
here.
information. What is the average temperature for Winston, Connecticut during the month of April? Let me try to get Siri's attention again. For some reason, Siri's kind of acting like she's got her tongue swallowed by a gorilla. Alright, let me try this again. What is the average temperature for Winston, Connecticut during the month of April?
I found this on the web.
Yeah, nothing. Oh, see, that just proves the point. And that they have removed the averages. You can't get the averages anymore.
Siri, hey, Siri's a retarded little bitch because just a simple Google says an average high of 56 degrees Fahrenheit and 13 degrees Celsius. I mean, that was from the Google machine. That was easy to get. I think Siri's been lobotomized.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the one on my computer. I don't know what the one on my phone. But, okay, so, all right. So, if the average is 13 degrees
Siri's the
Celsius.
communist, just like the people at Apple are.
Okay. All right, so you see the average for April was 56 degrees. Is that what the trends have been for the last few years, or has that been the trends for so far this year for your area? Tricky. No, it's not tricky. Go ahead, call you on the air.
MicheleMarieDalene.
Get
North
what?
America Snow Queen. This is Snow Queen.
This is the Snow Queen. Go ahead.
Why you lying to that boy you got on panel there? You know, Michelle, you can't control the weather because us black folks don't like that goddamn cold because we tropical people, and all you do is hate the black people. So you're the one who is keeping it cold, Michelle. Why don't you just let the spring steward do his job and warm it up around here?
Actually, right now, it's not my season. My season ended on Ostara.
Yeah, but you're using your powers against us. We know you don't like the BLM, but yet you still try to hold us down. Just let it be warm. We want to barbecue. We want to sit up on our porches. Just let it happen. Stop fighting it. Stop being so racist.
Well, honey, if it's any surprise, a lot of people here want to barbecue too. A lot of people want to go back outside, walk the park. A lot of people want to start working on their gardens.
Knock off your shenanigans, lady, and let us just move on. We're tired of the winter. Let it be.
Go fuck yourself, nigger.
See? You got that nigger shit on your show. You got that nigger shit on your show. See, I told you holding those people down. Let it
All right,
warm up.
enough is enough. One at a time.
Let a nigga be a nigga. Let it warm up.
One at a time. First of all, like I said, I don't mind warm weather when it's not like, just like you guys. I kind of like to enjoy nice temperature weather, like 20 degrees Celsius. That'd be nice. I like to be able to go outside and, in the summertime when it's like 23, 25 degrees Celsius, that's nice too. When you can go swimming and sit out there on the beach and stretch out in your bikini bathing suit. And yeah, that'd be nice. Of course, I don't like when it's 30 degrees Celsius, 33, 35 degrees, when all of a sudden you're basically hot, sticky, humid, smell bad, sweating like there's no tomorrow, drinking 1,000,000 gallons of water, and then you wonder when the thing's going to end and the summer just feels like it's never going to be over. Okay, that sucks, okay? But there has to be a compromise. There has to be a compromise. Too warm, and of course the agricultural people like Hank here is going to tell you, then not only he has to go out there and irrigate his farm, which means he's got to pay for getting the water to the farm. That adds cost. But if it's too wet, he can ruin the roots of his plants, and then his plants are not going to grow good, and he's not going to have a good yield. So you got to find the balance between the two. And the same is true when it's in my season between Yule to Ostara. How much snow do you make? How much of winter do you want to have? Do you want to have it really cold, frosty, or do you want to have a kind of a mild winter where the ice and snow is just not that prevalent? It's a hard sell. But the earth itself.
Yes.
Yeah. The earth itself has its own agenda. Our whole point is we're the stewards of the earth. We're trying to keep the earth in balance. But every time we try to keep the earth in balance, some mofo keeps messing it up. I mean, it's just a reality. So we're fighting an uphill battle, but now the latest battle has to do with the sun.
Sorry, I can barely hear you there.
I'm loud enough, trust me. You don't need me any louder than this. The truth of the matter is our sun, the major radiator in the sky that gives us the warmth of the earth, right now is on a cooling phase. And what that means is what it sounds like. The sun, which is our energy source, isn't as hot. So things are going to be cooler because there's less energy coming to the earth. And with all the less carbon dioxide being built up because people are burning less fossil fuels, guess what? There's less heat being trapped within the earth. That's a problem. So the people need to keep that in mind. You got to find a balance, and that's what the weather storage try to do. We want to see the earth prosper, but we also understand that right now, this is an external factor from the sun. It has nothing to do with us. So what the people like the tree huggers, i.e. the really extreme climate alarmists are not telling you is, look, part of the problem is that it is not an anthropogenic climate change. It is a climate event that has occurred naturally outside of human intervention. But in our efforts to try to blame everybody and say it's our fault, and try to change things by going with green, with windmills and solar and all this, is that in one sense we're doing the earth a favor because we're using less fossil fuels, but in another sense we're doing ourselves a disservice because now the earth is cooling down because there's less methane from cows, for example, to keep the heat inside the earth. So it's being radiated back into space. Depending on your shoes, maybe they might be made out of actual rubber, like tires of your car, or they may be made out of vulcanized rubber, which is made out of petroleum distillates. So unfortunately, I can't answer your question about what you can do to try to hasten up the warming phase, because I can tell you that even I enjoy a little warmth in the sun too. And it's not my season right now, so I can't go out there and change that. However, a couple years ago, in 2015-16, I did do all 4 seasons for Mother God, and let me tell you, I was terrible at spring, and summer was cool. Actually, it was mostly it was the part of spring, but I kind of tried summer. I tried to keep it cool. The problem was everybody was complaining because summer was too cool, because the temperature in my area only got up to about 81 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 25 degrees? Something like that. 25 degrees Celsius. That's it. Well, people were bitching. Hey, summer's too cold. I don't want to go swimming. I don't want to do anything outside. Why? Oh, because it's not warm. It's not like 90 plus degrees. I don't want to go swimming in the cold water. Oh, yeah, now you're bitching because it's too cold? And now you're bitching when it was too hot? And this year I made it cool in 2015, 2016, and all you did was bitch. Yeah, it really didn't help me any. So I explained to Mother nicely. I said, Mom, you need to find somebody else for spring and summer and autumn. Leave me out of it. Okay, I tried. All right, I'm not doing it again. 30 years ago, they didn't use cars in India. They didn't have any cars in China either. There's your problem. The environment changed in part because of the way they did things in China and in India. I mean, they had cars in China, but they were really expensive. Now, everybody in China has a car. Even those that shouldn't even have a car. Science Secretary Michelle, as much as the USA and the West go for climate emissions, the population carbon use from India, Asian cities offset that. Well, the problem is we need to increase our own carbon emissions, at least a little bit. But the problem is that gets tricky. But we can certainly find a fuel better than sticking a big tube in Mama Earth and basically sucking her innards. But the problem is, if you're gonna, for example, do logging, wood's used for so many different things. You need to have environmental responsible forestry to make sure to replant what you take away. So if you take away pine trees, you need to plant pine trees. If you're going to take away oaks, you need to plant new oaks. If you take away new maples, you got to plant new maples. That's essential to what the Forestry Stewardship Conservation Program does. The FSC is an organization designed for sustainable forestry, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like the way you work it, no dignity. Well, the thing is that also India has a problem with a high population, so does China. And they actually have, it's just not, gonna work that way, that they have actually pushing the carrying capacity of the Earth to its brink. No farmer can grow enough food to feed everybody in America or the world, especially now that, for example, we depending on imported grains from the Ukraine and Russia. And guess what? This total sanctions / embargo messes us up more than it messes up Russia.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The fact of the matter is that Joe Biden's sanctions on Russia, Ukraine are going to affect us more than it's going to affect them. Russia and Ukraine, ever since the days of the Cold War, have been used to being independent, used to being self-supporting and self-sovereign. They're already used to that. They don't need to be punished and told that we're going to slap them in the purse. They already used to living like that. We're actually slapping ourselves in the purse. It's almost like we take a chainsaw to our supply line. That's a major part of the world's grains is from Russia and the Ukraine. The United States is just number 3. We're not top growing grains. Hello?
Oh, good. Yes.
So,
I could even choke to death on peanuts.
you're lucky enough you can even choke to death on a corn cob. So, Democrats can't because I am disappointed by a higher authority.
Come on, man.
All right, so the whole culture is messed up. The European cars are way more gas efficient than 50 miles per hour at the cost of low horsepower. Well, that's something that unfortunately Americans have gotten used to doing because we like cars that got lots of horsepower. But you're right, an original Fiat 500 city car would not excite many people. These rear-engine cars from Italy were terrible on fuel. I mean, a horsepower, but had lots of miles to the gallon.
I could even choke to death on peanuts.
Or a lot of kilometers per liter.
Come on, man.
All right, so I'm gonna let Hank go for a bit, and I'll talk to you sometime soon. Okay?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Bye. Okay. So, just something to think about. You know, I want to. I believe that. So the thing I'm trying to say is, so like you said, original Fiat 500, for example, is a city car, okay? And it's designed to be efficient for in-city driving. It doesn't have a lot of horsepower. It has like a 3-speed transmission on it, I think. It's a pretty small car, right? So when they brought the Fiat 500 to the United States, of course, now they have to meet the CAFE standards and everything. And they put the engine in the front. And they made it bigger and more fancy stuff. But you know what? There is a Fiat car that is still pretty popular for some people. That's the Fiat 500e. The E being the electric Fiat. But the electric Fiat was only created originally for California. What? I know what you're thinking. What? It's true. It's true. Yep. All right. So it's just a example of what I'm talking about. You know, the electric car. Great idea. I mean, in principle, Allow me to explain why I say that. Electric core is you're basically taking away the need to produce power locally in a car, i.e., burn fuel, i.e., dead animals, basically to make your car move. But at the same time, now you're just basically generating your energy, i.e., by consuming dead animals at a remote power plant to fill a tank that holds the energy of said dead animals to turn into motive energy to make your wheels go. You're just basically moving it from one side to another. Go ahead. I mean, if you're gonna, so what you're, because you moving it the generation to a utility power plant somewhere else, and you're transporting the electricity over power lines, and then put it into your equivalent of your electric gas tank, you know, your battery, your lithium-ion battery storage bank. What you're doing is you're just basically conversions and middleman in the middle. You're not saving anything. In fact, instead of producing the energy locally within your engine compartment, which, okay, I know the internal combustion engine isn't exactly fantastic, and it's not, but let's be honest, it's a little more direct. It goes straight from gas tank right to your transmission. You know, more direct, less middleman. At least as far as getting energy from the fuel you consume to the wheels. Okay, I don't know what much about Fiat Panda is. What's a Fiat Panda? I mean, is that like a sedan? Is that a hatchback? Sammy, you know me, big pipe guns, bucket of black. Well, Michelle, I don't remember why who said energy is never created, just transformer. And that would be Isaac. That would be Albert Einstein who said that. That's under the rules of physics. However, that rule of physics in some cases under special, when Albert Einstein comes around, thanks to his research in special relativity, it can be created or destroyed. But even that, think about it. You're still transforming it. Maybe taking radioactivity from plutonium and uranium. When you're splitting atoms, you're still basically, energy's not necessarily being created. All you're doing is you're breaking covalent bonds. Hi, Craig. How you doing? It's the most basic Fiat, kind of like the E500 or 500. Yeah, okay. It's a basic little car that gets you around. Nothing wrong with that, right? That'd be like a Ford Escort here in the U.S. A little basic car, a K car. And used to have a Chrysler K car many years ago. Craig said, when I was talking to Ed on the phone the other day, I told him he needs to get up and get mobile. He needs to go see a Mets game or baseball game. He's got to get walking. He's going to be going to a baseball game with Stan on Saturday. He's going to talk to a doctor at the walking clinic on Saturday about his issues with his skin. So, Discord, Billy says, I'm here, Craig. Let's go Mets. Yeah. So Ed's gonna be going to a baseball game against the with Stan CT when the Mets play the Philadelphia Phillies. That's all I know. I'm not really into baseball, so I really don't have the details of how that's going to go, how good the Philadelphia Phillies have been playing or anything. But they are going to see that game on Saturday. He behaves, but yeah, I think you're right. I think that his doctors at the walk-in clinic are probably going to tell him the same thing, that he needs to work on getting more bathing in. Maybe he needs to talk to a dermatologist because I think his problem's a lot more chronic issue than just that. But I'm not a medical doctor, so don't ask me to explain that. He's going to the doctor on Saturday and then going to a game. Yeah, that's what he had planned on doing. That's what Stan and him are trying to do. Stan's already wants to buy the tickets and everything. So I'm glad he's taking the initiative to do this. I would like to come over there and take you guys out for the day, but he needs to be able to walk. He's walking fine, Greg. It's his hand that is the swelling is going down on his hand. He's walking okay. Well, if the doctor says to give him a rock so he can peel off the skin, that's fine. That's what a snake would do. It would actually usually rubs against a twig or something to help break the old skin off, and then it just peels it off. I don't think the human body was ever designed to do that. At least not to that same extent. Yeah. Well, anyway, so one of the things she started out with, I'm going to kind of bring it back to that topic because we kind of went off the original beaten path here, is people with autistic spectrum are often misunderstood by the majority of the people because they don't fit into what people normally expect. When I ask people with Asperger's versus neurotypical people, but the truth of the matter is women who have Asperger's autistic spectrum are probably even least understood because it's least diagnosed among women, because the fact is those women can be chameleons. Because they can pretend to be neurotypical, they're better at it than the men. But technically, men can do it too. Okay, yay, payments. I'm at the sun, and I can't see my phone too. Well, sorry about that. I hope you're enjoying the sun, Craig. I hope your wife is doing well. Says Johnny. Well, you know what? Dr. Fauci had said, this is from Fox News, from PBS NewsHour. He said that the good news is the United States at this point is near the end of the pandemic. Which I think is good. But you know what? Here's the thing. I wonder how long he's going to keep with that statement. Or if he's finally coming to the realization that for right now we have it under control. I hope. Most of the problem is that he's not active enough, as you know, Michelle. When you are laying around, osteoporosis sets in. No, osteoporosis is when your bones get full of holes and brittle. You're talking about atrophy. Okay, but still, if you're not eating a lot of food rich in calcium or walking to maintain said calcium growth, yeah, osteoporosis starts, i.e., holy bones. Word osteo mean bone, porosis meaning porous or holy. Holy bones, which in this case are not holy because, in that sense, they're not sanctified, i.e., they're unholy, but they're unholy because they're cursed, and you're going to basically find your bones become very weak and brittle. Not good. Okay, so the point is, that's one of the reasons why I had my bone density test done for my body to make sure that I wasn't losing calcium. And I did lose some in my spine, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good. This bad attitude is probably due to a lack of circadian. It might be, but that's not bad attitude. That's just, I think part of it's depression. I think he's suffering from clinical depression, and he just doesn't know how to handle it. I have dry skin too, and what I do is use one of my wife's bathing products and sit in the tub and get in the moisture he's not letting enough in. Right. He needs to buy Dove soap and use it all over himself like that. He's moisturized in it. That's what I do. You know what? I agree with you. I'm hoping his dermatologist is going to tell him to do the same thing. I mean, it's hard for him to get in the tub because of his infirmities, because of his joints. So maybe he can get a nurse, a visiting or nurse or a caregiver to help him get in and out of the tub, to give him a good circulation, to get him, to help treat the skin conditions he have. That's what he needs. I use Dove soap, but not recently because I don't have the money to buy. I just use regular Ivory, but then again, I do the exact same myself. I do take care of it. Oh, by the way, tonight is supposed to be World of Warcraft. Well, tonight was supposed to be a night show, but more than likely, because Wednesday nights usually terrible for a night show, it'll probably be World of Warcraft tonight. If Skynet, are we playing World of Warcraft tonight? Skynet, are we playing World of Warcraft tonight? I told him to put on some Vaseline petroleum jelly on the skin to at least keep the moisture in. But I said, don't put too much on or you're going to give yourself acne. But just put just a little tiny touch around on the skin after you take a bath, especially to help keep the moisture towards the skin. Someone, Greg Senior says, sorry, my text is not working too good. I'm hard to see here, and I want to get some vitamin D. Understandable. Right now, there's no one in the night crew that's getting me mad, considering the fact that a lot of people wonder what the hell happened to the World of Warcraft gameplay. Tiger Kitty was hoping we were going to play World of Warcraft yesterday, but then again, it didn't happen for one. You were at the getting piercings, and I was getting Z's, and I was sawing quite a few trees, taking a long nap. And then, of course, so people want to see the night show, but they also want to see the gameplay. Gianni said, no problem, vitamin D is universally Harold, it is being extremely important to everything, really. Yes, I agree. Yes, I said the wrong thing. Atrophy is what I meant because my wife, if she can't walk much, her legs get weak. Right. Exactly. But also your bones get brittle too. Same reason. Because you're not actually using gravity. It's essential for keeping bones strong. No, Wolf, no, that the video game crew is not the same as the hangout crew. Yeah, I know that. Oh, man. Go ahead.
I was spoiled big time. I was
Who are you? Wait.
I
I'm sorry, my closed captions can't even translate
look
you.
so hot and you so good, sweetheart. You really do look good. Baby doll. Oh God, you look real good. Can I have some more?
All right. Thank you.
Can I have another? Oh, you look so hot and good.
Right.
I wish you sent me a voice text.
Thank you. Let's not go
We'll
there.
get friends, sweetheart.
Let's not go there. Thank you. All right. Okay, so back to the questions here. It says, Johnny says, Michelle, you have a great memory for things you've read. Do you think it's because you hold retention from your masking? One of the things about me is I have a very good memory, but I think it's because of my autistic spectrum disorder is the fact is I can remember so many things, so many facts. I am a bookworm. You're talking to a person who's a Virgo, Aquarius Virgo. You're talking to a person that is a bookworm by nature that basically lives by the book. Researches, studies, because the pursuit of knowledge is something that we hold highly. It's not at all surprising to see that how much I know, because for me, pursuit of knowledge is par excellence. To learn, to study, to grow, to master things. The masking part is how I keep socially from looking like a bubbling idiot. That's a reality. A lot of women, especially women aspies, will use that masking to look more mainstream, but they're still basically have fixations about special interests and special subjects, and they love doing certain things. But one of the things that we love, thanks to the internet, is the unlimited amount of resources available to us to satisfy our intellectual cravings. The internet has made it possible for me to study every conceivable subject you can even imagine, and even some that honestly shouldn't be studied. But it's there. It gives us that ability. Michelle, okay, so let's see. Michelle, is there any way you can get up on the roof by yourself so that you can? No, no, no. Here's why. Now, I don't think you want to put a chase lounge on that roof. And number one, it would be extremely hard to get up to the little access way. And second of all, what happens if the landlord gets mad, takes away the ladder, and the next thing you know, you're stuck on the roof and unable to call for emergency services to get you off the roof? No. And not only that, but what about the fact that you put how many pounds per square inch of force is being put in each one of those legs on the chase lounge could punch a hole in the roof? That wouldn't be good either. Yeah, send you some PayPal money. Please get a 6-pack. The Ivory soap is too strong. It's not. Ivory soap isn't the strongest soap I've ever used. Trust me, I've used soap that was even stronger than ivory. Ivory soap is a good everyday soap. Yeah, I know. Just talking about the Dove soap. But ivory soap is actually okay. You know, I've used real Castile soap. You want to talk about strong? I like scat prawn. Best thing is baby oil and baby cream, but actually I use moisturizing cream sometimes, like the one from Unilever moisturizers. Like St. Ives, I'll buy some occasionally. Put that on. Um, it's more important for the winter time because of the dryness of the air. But yeah, I do try to take care of that. Craig Senior said, Michelle, I'm going back a bit here, but Michelle, you're perfectly right. I've been in deep depression, and the only way to handle it is to go to the doctor, take Saccharine, and just have to kick myself and keep going. Getting out in the sun, as you know, actually helps with the depression too. Something that is important. Why you need to have the sun, the big D, vitamin D. Sure, D3 milk is good too, but I mean also getting out in the sun also makes melanin. Now the problem with me is, for me in the summertime, it has the opposite effect. What it does is it makes me sleepy. Go ahead, Paul. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Talking about vitamin D.
I heard you were talking soap talk and moisturizer.
Right, soap talk too, which is also
yeah. Well, I don't use it personally, Michelle. I don't personally use this, but I heard semen is really good for moisturizer.
I don't know about that.
Like if you bukkake or cream pie a woman.
Well, let me ask you a question. Something that's I want to know
really
about since I get your attention.
Sure.
You gonna play World of Warcraft tonight?
More than likely. What is today? Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, we got a night show tonight, right? So maybe we can do like a night show.
Yeah, but we know the night shows on Wednesday suck Dingo's kidneys, right?
I mean, if we start sucking, maybe we could, play some WoW. We gotta see where Mr.
I'm just gonna title it Game Time, but that's exactly what I want to go straight into is Game Time.
I just want to say good morning to you, Michelle.
That doesn't mean that we won't sit and look at the side chats, because we will.
Take phone calls?
I like American Truck Simulator where I can't because I'm worried about basically crashing into a
when's the
wall.
last time you played that, Michelle? I haven't seen you play that in about a couple weeks. You got in the truck. When's the last time you got in the truck? I haven't done that in a couple
weeks, right? I know.
Yeah, just taking a break from it, or?
I'm just trying to emotionally kind of rebuild my emotional strength right now.
What's bringing you down? Maybe I can help you.
No, it's just general,
just in
energy
general. Okay.
thing. The season change.
It's springtime, yeah. I was gonna say you usually get down in the spring and the summer a little bit. I get you. Well, yeah, you should try cutting loose a little bit. You said Ed had the apartment really hot last night, so you couldn't play the game with us. Is that going to be a concern again today?
Well, yeah, it might be an issue today. But the problem is trying to get Ed to understand is you can't turn the heat to 85 degrees Fahrenheit and not expect my video card.
85 degrees.
Yes.
In your house.
Yes.
Why in God's name would he want it that hot, Michelle? Do you, Michelle? You better be very thankful.
He likes the apartment set to Miami.
Right? Could you imagine what your bill would be if you had to pay for it? That'd be out of that'd be.
I have to pay for it because it was running the electric heat.
Oh, I thought he was running the central. I thought you guys were using
he was running the electric heat and the central together.
Oh, Jesus, it's a bit much. Yeah, I like it about 70. I like about a nice 70-degree house, maybe
I keep my house.
72.
It's just me. I keep the house about 70.
Yeah, same here. Same here. That's a bit much. 85.
So let me take a look at any other questions here.
You got to be.
You got to be
I'm telling
kidding.
you, man, it's crazy.
I wish.
85 degrees, Michelle. This man has no circulation running through his body. That's why he's so cold. You got to get him moving. You got to get this man moving, Michelle. 85 degrees, Michelle. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts. I get why you would say it's really hot and you don't want to do anything. Michelle, do you think Ed's just trying to get you in some skimpy clothing? A little skimpier clothes?
Well, look what I'm wearing right now. It's not exactly what I call.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Maybe Ed's just trying to sweat you out so you just get naked.
Well, anyway, the point is, he wants to go with me to the pharmacy today. I said, fine.
Yes, get him going, Michelle. Please take him with you. Get him out of that house. Get him moving
Yeah,
around.
because I wanted to show him the New Cumberland Farms. He never been into the New Cumberland Farms.
Yeah. How far is that one from your house? How far is Cumbie?
About 15 minutes on a formal walker. If I go to walker, I can get there in about 7 to 10 minutes, maybe.
Okay. Not too bad.
Not bad, no. But a little longer to go to Cumberland McDonald's, which is just pretty much right after it.
Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
But that says to me, he said, I don't have any long sweatpants or anything. I said, what happened to your sweatpants you had? He says, well, they shrunk. No, I didn't shrink, Ed. You got bigger.
Yeah.
Oh. He said to me, yeah, and then of course I said, then the little tie broke. That ties him. I said, yeah, I know. I only have to make you a new tie to tie your sweatpants. It's like, give me a break, Ed. First of all, stop trying to give me excuses and say that your pants shrunk. Here they didn't shrink. I made sure to wash them so they wouldn't shrink. But the truth is, it could have shrunk a tiny bit. But I don't think he realizes that those knitted pants will slowly expand a little bit. Once they get warm and sweaty and hot, they will stretch. But unfortunately, so does his waistline. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really hard to, Michelle, I personally, all my, sweatpants and pants and shit have shrunk. Are not shrunk, but, they're just too big on me now. I got to get a smaller belt or one that fits me. During this pandemic, I've probably lost, 20 pounds. So I got to get, Ed's got the opposite problem, though. We got to get this man some clothes. What size is he, Michelle? I feel bad.
Well, I can tell you right now, Ed is not necessarily ill, but it's just, okay, yeah, mentally ill, depression, yeah, he's got that problem, too. He's just not inspired to do anything.
He's just going to die.
And, of course, the fact is that I haven't had any alone time for myself to do my own personal thing. It's not helping me either because I'm.
Why do you continue to let Ed live there, Michelle? Is what I don't get. All you do is complain about him, but yet he still lives there. Why do you continue to let Ed live there?
Well, because where else is he going to go? He wants alone time. I want alone time, but he doesn't want to spend money for a hotel room for his alone time.
Well, let him go back to
spend
Florida.
Money for a hotel room for my alone time. So basically, we're stuck. Basically, trying to just kind of find alone time.
Well, why don't you just let him go back to Florida? I thought he was going back to Florida.
He changed his mind to the fall, which makes sense. Because I told him, I said,
then.
save your money to go back to Florida with a plan.
I would have kicked that out a long time ago. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, well, he's Krista this Saturday afternoon. Him and Stan are going to go get clothes, and then he's going to go to a Mets game. So, so after you and him go to the doctors on Saturday morning, he and Stan are supposed to go to the Mets game and also go get some clothes at Goodwill or something.
It's gonna be a busy day for Ed. He's gonna wear himself. He's gonna tucker himself out. Then it's gonna be a very busy day for Ed.
Well,
It's gonna
that's
be the
good
most
for
he's done
me. If
in
he
years.
falls asleep in the car, I don't have to worry about it
Yeah,
then.
like a little baby. Yeah.
At least that me. Don't forget, that's also going to be when I can finally do some fun stuff too. You know, for example, like, play some records and have a good time and not have to worry about being on call constantly for him going, Michelle, you do this. Michelle, this is broken. Michelle, this don't work. Michelle, I need help with this step. What am I doing wrong? Blah, 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 blah. Sometimes like I need a time I can just go.
Well, again, Michelle, all you do is complain about Ed, but yet he still lives with you. I don't get it. You say, where's he gonna go? That's his problem. Let him figure it out, Michelle. Who gives a fuck where Ed goes?
Yes, he's going to go talk to the doctor because
Yeah.
he read an article that says some symptoms he has could be congenital heart failure. I don't think he's got heart failure. But I do think that he should still go to the doctor anyway, because I think he might be having issues with his kidneys, like you said, because of the gout. I think he should still talk to the doctor about that, because if his kidneys aren't getting all the uric acid out of his body, it's going to build up in his joints and it's going to make his life miserable. I have a good heart and care about everybody, but yeah, eventually I will just give up caring if he has. I'll just give up caring if he has any summer clothes. All he has is summer clothes. He doesn't have any winter clothes at all. That's part of the whole problem. And that's why he hasn't been going anywhere. Because he couldn't, because he was afraid to freeze to death, because he didn't have any winter clothes.
Well, he had summer clothes last year, Michelle, and he didn't go anywhere. I mean, do you think he's going to go anywhere this year?
It's the same summer clothes.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. He had the same summer clothes last year, but he didn't go anywhere.
But he's going to get some new stuff, though. Yeah, he's going to get some new stuff with Stan and stuff. That's good for him.
Yeah, that'll be good. Get him some new clothes.
Get out of the house for a while, yeah.
Michelle, Ed definitely has winter clothes. I saw him in a long sleeve shirt. I saw him in the
Yeah, the new Cumberland Farms is about 15 minutes away. Yeah.
He's got winter clothes. Ed's just lazy. Ed's just lazy.
Oh, he's going with Stan to make some things better for himself. That's a start,
Yeah. There you go, John. There you go. I like where your brain fit, John. I don't know if Tiger would want that, but that'd be interesting. Yeah, I don't know, Michelle. I don't know. I couldn't live with that personally. I don't care. It'd have to be for like a good amount of money for me to take care of that dude.
Well, I know that Tiger Kitty offered to have me live with her for a while. I don't know. That's.
I think that offer's off the table. Yeah.
I can give him a pair, 2 sweatpants. Do you have anything in a 3X? Because he needs like 3X. Because he's not as small as you think he is. He's at least 44, 45, 46 inch waistline.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
What size? He could try a 2X sweatpants. I mean, it might work for him.
Yeah, I'd say probably 2X would probably be good. 2X or 3X for sure would definitely do it.
I definitely think 3X would be better, but if you want to give him some 2X sweatpants, Krista, that would be fine.
Sure,
I think he would appreciate that. I think he would appreciate that.
Put himself into those.
Maybe some T-shirts. Maybe I can get him a couple North American Snow Queen T-shirts from my online store. Yeah, that can be a walking billboard for me.
I mean, he doesn't go anywhere, Michelle. Again,
I know that.
A walking billboard. That'd be a waste of money. How much are those shirts? Like $20 a piece? 15? Yeah, it's kind of a waste.
Well,
cheap Walmart shirts.
Krista, one of the most important things you got to do with that is you got to keep in touch with him on Facebook, because that's the one thing he's been sticking his nose into his Facebook. So keep in contact with him on Facebook You are clean, Michelle, but Ed is not. Oh, I'm not the most tidy person either. One thing about Aquarius Virgos is I'm not so OCD about dirt. I will allow some clutter in my life, but not to the level that my life has become in the last few years. No, I personally look at my apartment as it is now, and I'm kind of disappointed by it. Just to be honest.
Why don't you do anything about it, Michelle? You're disappointed in it. Why don't you clean it up?
I do, but then we always have seems we always get cardboard boxes back again.
Well, you guys keep ordering shit. Quit ordering shit.
Well, I order essential stuff. So let's see here.
Still
Michelle,
comes in cardboard boxes.
Let's see, Krista says, I'm happy he's going to finally see a doctor, but I hope when Santa comes that he doesn't have Michelle call me and change his mind. Craig Sr. said, Michelle, if he's turning that thermostat up that high, that's costing Jimmy a fortune and unnecessary. He was good enough to leave the heat on, and then not to take advantage of it. 70 is fine. I agree, 72, fine. I agree with you on that. I mean, I swear, seriously thinking about getting one of those locked cages for the thermostat, just so I have the key. But then knowing Ed, just like lock-picking lawyer shows, it's a very easy way to bypass it. It wouldn't take much to figure out how to bypass it. After all, if you're smart enough to realize you can get an Allen wrench in the slats of the case and nudge the little lever up and down. It says, Skynet, I'm willing to give me a couple pairs of sweatpants, but I have to know for what size 2X will be big enough for him. There's only one way, Krista, to know he's going to have to try them out. I mean, you can try them out. You can try them out and tell you. If I kept my house at 85, I know about that. It would cost me $1,000 a month. It already cost my landlord $1,000 a month just to heat the whole building. Rusty, come on. Waiting is the cat. Okay,
Yeah,
Rusty the cat wants his camera time now.
That would have been.
You want your camera time, huh? You just came in from outside. All right, let me get the camera over here.
I just boot him out, Michelle. You say, where's that gonna go? Like, that's not your problem, you know?
Yeah, give me some.
Get him the fuck out.
All right, give me a minute, Rusty. I'm working. I gotta get over to the controls here.
All right, Michelle. We don't need to see Rusty.
Yeah, but he likes to be on camera too.
Not a fan of Rusty anymore.
Rusty likes being on camera. That's the one thing about Rusty. People keep forgetting this. Mr. Kitty.
I think you're forcing him. You're basically forcing him. Why don't you just pick him up in your arms and hold him in your arms and let him be on
he's
camera?
a little bit too heavy to pick up. Say hi to everybody. It's my good crowd. It's not noodles. It's not noodles. It's not noodles. There you go. It's Paul.
Stop that, Rusty.
It's Paul, Skynet, Craig Sr.
Stop it.
There you go. He said,
give me, please. No. No, please. Rusty, stop it. So how old is Rusty? 8 years old? When's his birthday?
Yeah, he's about 10 years old now.
10 years old?
10 years old.
When's his birthday? Do you know when his birthday is?
He was born in May of 2012.
May of 2012, so he's going to be 10 this year.
Yeah.
So we should have a party. Can we have a Rusty birthday party?
I'm not exactly sure the date. I know he's a Taurus cat. That's all I know.
Well, we should have a birthday party for him.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for these kittens to come in, Michelle. Kitten season's almost here, and when all these cats come in, I'm gonna get a few of them.
That would have been funny if his son there, Dusty, came over.
Oh my God.
Dusty and Rusty, he has the son as
I remember Dusty.
Yeah, the gray kitten.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember Dusty.
And I'm a lemon. I don't want to man it and threw them out the window. If I kept my house at 85 and can't unclog a toilet, he can only lockpick his ass. John Heyman says, Craig Sr., do you have a place on your property? When floods, maybe we can set it up in the shed there. Maybe take them away quietly. Craig Sr. said, John, all I have to do is walk about 1,000 feet. I'm on the ocean. I can put him on the inner tube.
Yeah. Maybe we could put Ed in like a bottle and float him away, like a message in a bottle.
Well, the thing is like I said, I think it's kind of funny when you think about, Ed wants to go with me to CVS, and I said, that's fine. We'll go to CVS. We'll go to the Cumberland Farms. And he said to me, he said, well, I want to get some antibiotic cream for my skin. I said, that's fine. And I'll check my balance on my debit card, too. I said, that's fine.
Probably got bed sores.
No.
What's he putting antibiotics on?
Oh, no, because he has dry skin and cracks open sometimes.
Oh, okay. It cracks open.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds like it hurts.
I understand he's coming for you and downsized, but I think he was getting his own apartment, which would have gotten over his own damn food. Okay, Krista, you want to bring him over and give him to Ed personally, or when you pick him up on Saturday? Well, like I said, he needs to have some time to get out and do his own things too.
Yep, definitely.
The weather today is not that bad. The sun is out. The temperature is going to be mild. Maybe not exactly roasty, toasty hot. A high expected of 11 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, it's cold here, Michelle, today.
It's chilly, but it's not, really that bad.
1 Celsius out here. 34.
No, it's about
No, that's
50,
what it is here, Michelle.
It's
I'm saying
it's
cold here.
Outside right now.
It's 1 degree here, Michelle. It's cold. It's cold where I'm at, is what I'm saying. It's 1 degree. It's 34 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's cold. It's a cold one today. Cold and rainy. Maybe even getting some snow.
Well, we were supposed to get some rain, but I'm not seeing any rain right now.
Well, you might be getting snow, Michelle. That person who came on panel earlier, we need to get a hold of the spring Stewart. It's almost May. It's almost May here. Where's the beautiful weather?
Yeah, well, we're not going to see any. Okay, let's talk about this weather trends, just because I'm not seeing any warming traits until May. I'm not seeing anything warming trends until May.
Yeah.
And that's not even that much of a warming trend. In May, we're going to be seeing the temperatures that we should be seeing in April. Now, not even that is not even consistent. Which is weird.
Are we going to have a mild summer or a hot summer, Michelle? What's the Farmer's Almanac say? Are we having a hot summer? Are we going to have a mild summer?
No, I don't think it says anything about a hot summer.
Well, that's good. I like a nice mild.
Well, like that one call said, is also bad, because that means it's going to result in a shorter growing season.
That's true. That's true. It's no good for anybody.
I can bring them over. You can put them on before he goes to the doctor. That'd be a good idea. When's
that appointment? What time?
Or if you wanted to bring them over today and show them today if you're free, because you're not that far walking wise. It's an idea too. By the way, my chair mat should be here in a couple of days. For my chair, I didn't check the shipping information for today, but I got everything else. So let me take a quick look and see when my chair mat's coming. I believe it's going to be coming by FedEx or by UPS. but I'm not really sure because it should fit easily into a little tiny roll, like a carpet roll or something. But let's see what it looks like here. Purchases. Everything else is here, just I don't have the mat yet. Let's see. It says departure origin DHL e-commerce facility in Whittier, California. Estimated delivery Tuesday, May 3rd. Yeah. So that's a pretty good thing. It's gonna be warming up. Capital One. Remember, you're pre-approved for credit card. Don't want one. Trump executive order. Twitchies.
So how much of that
I'm just going real quick here and just.
No, it's fine, Michelle. That's fine. I was just gonna ask you how much of that Sprite you got left in that bottle. How much of the bottle is left of that Sprite next to you?
The Sprite. Pretty much.
How much is left in that bottle?
About half of it. About a liter of it.
All right, Michelle. I'll give you $5 if you can slam the rest of that bottle right now without removing it from your mouth.
Yeah, because I gotta make it last for the rest of the week. Let's see
some
here.
more at CVS today.
YouTube now on your channel. Signature requested. All right, so let's see how many people are here. How many people are on the show?
Michelle, can we get a couple phone calls going before we end the show?
Well, the phone calls, okay.
I'll help you out with a couple of them. I'm here to help you out. If you want to take some calls.
Right now we got 13. We are at the
lucky number 13.
17. That's right. We're up to 17 right now. We were up to 16 this morning when we started discussing the icebreakers. And then we ended up going off that tangent. And then I kind of dropped down a bit. So I think I'll be back up again. But let me take a look at the chat since that's obviously important. The flavored drinking water. I seriously wonder when you'll walk into a dead end on the floor. I'll try my best. Krista, that's so nice of you. Wow, you're a wonderful person. I'm sure the apartment needs a oh yeah, talent just me. But anyway, here's the deal: is that I have, one of the things that everybody here will agree on is tonight I want to get some World of Warcraft in. Okay, because we didn't get it in yesterday. Okay, so try to get that in. Find out if Skynet will be free today. I know he said he works on Mondays and Thursdays, so it's not Thursday, it's Wednesday.
Well, that's when he works nights, I believe. I believe that's when he works his night shift. Is
on
Mondays in the end.
Or is it Thursday?
Yeah, couple of those days. But yeah, I know he works usually Monday through Friday. Hardworking young man. Yeah, we'll have to see what everyone's doing tonight. I more than likely should be available.
Right, well, he's in the chat here, so if he wants to tell me if today's okay.
We'll figure her out. We'll get her figured out.
Also, for those of you who want to help my characters out in retail and my other characters in Classic, you can reach out to me as NA_Snow_Queen on Blizzard.net. So if you want to play with me on Westfall, on the Classic or Thunderlord or Windmist Accord on retail, we need players too.
Try it.
Okay, because so just reach out to me as NA_Snow_Queen on Blizzard.net and play with me, and we can get my character to level up a bit. My character pretty much plays Horde. Yeah, I know. So what is Skynet going to say about the answer about the question? Oh, there it is. Oh, let's say, yeah, the flavored drinking water.
Yeah, let's open up the lines.
This way, if you want to nap, he wants to nap. Right. When I was younger in a original apartment, my landlord had lock boxes on the thermostats, and all I had to do was put a bag of ice in them. Or since I have a toolbox, all I had to do is basically just manage to sneak an Allen wrench in there and just nudge the levers. It's pretty simple, actually. I watched enough lock-picking lawyer to realize that is not exactly hard to figure a way to defeat and bypass the lock without even unlocking it. So...
Yeah, I wouldn't let anyone pull that shit on me either, Michelle. I agree. I would bypass it and turn it to the temperature I wanted. I would not let anyone determine, 100%. You want to take a couple calls before we go, Michelle? A couple people are asking for the phones. If you want to do a couple calls, or
John Heyman says, "Open up." I will. Just
Word.
Yeah, the phone lines are actually still on the screen. Okay, there you are. No.
All right. You got the double beep.
Just
There we go.
Yeah, you guys said you wanted a better background. Is that really an
Michelle? Michelle, I'll recommend. I'll say that you did change it up. It was a nice background.
All right, man. Go ahead, caller.
There we go.
If I was with you right now, I'll be fucking the shit out of you right now. Front ways, side ways, different ways, doggy style, all kinds of ways. If I was with you right now, I'll be fucking the shit out of you.
Who are you?
Shit out of you and cussing on them beautiful titties of yours.
Ooh.
That's how I was.
Who are you?
And I still say, oh, fuck the shit out of you.
Sounds like a fan. It's a fan of yours.
Fuck the shit out of you.
It's a soundboard, Michelle. Knock it off. Okay. All right. As far as the layout goes, honestly, I have a love-hate relationship with this background. And first of all, it kind of sucks because it's too.
You picked it, Michelle.
It's just
you
too.
Picked it.
I like the bedroom better. I think the bedroom is less likely to cause some people have a seizure.
No one's gonna have a seizure from this. No one's gonna have a seizure. I mean, you picked the background, Michelle. If you don't like it, it's you picked it, right?
Oh, it's a nice background. It's static.
Yeah, you use the same one all the time. I mean, that one just switch it up a bit.
Yeah, but the background. But you know what? If I actually didn't even have a background, if that was just my bedroom, which we'll be doing,
that'd be better. That would be 10 times better.
Wait a minute. No, hold a minute. Wait a minute. If it was just my bedroom background, because we're in the summertime, we'll probably be streaming from the bedroom.
Yeah,
using my laptop, you're not going to have a chroma key green screen background. It's just going to be my computer and my phone.
Yeah, but we'd
That's
see ads and stuff.
And then you're going to probably go to me saying, why are you always shooting the video from the same place on your desk? Gee, this is boring.
We would be able to see Ed, Michelle.
Hold on a minute. Go ahead.
I mean, you got that thing all day?
What thing all day? What are you talking about?
You got that thing old background there, or got that dang old bed there, man.
That sounds like Boomhauer, Michelle.
Boomhauer?
Oh, is that Boomhauer?
Right there, the boy going to donate $5 to you from that thing. Now, man, come on, man.
I don't think we're going down.
What y'all doing tonight, man?
Hay fever season's kicking in, though. I can tell you that. All right.
Hey, you got the right there. You want to go?
When you go to CVS,
let it down. You know my man.
Let's see. Says here when you go to CVS,
I
come.
Man.
Oh,
I haven't done my hair.
Oh, hold on a minute. I'm trying to say something to Craig. The problem is my iPhone camera's sensor is getting rattled to death on my walker. The other camera works a little bit better on my walker, but only by a small margin, but it doesn't have a large battery that's any good. So, unfortunately, its battery goes dead fast.
Hey, man, I ain't got no dang old iPhone, man. Go get you a damn old Android, man. Come on, man. That's your 1942.
All right.
Yeah.
Cortisone cream was good.
Android better than the iPhone. Michelle, can you understand what Boomhauer's saying?
No, I can't. My translation seemed to really help you either.
Yeah, I think he said he liked the Android better.
Yeah, man. Android.
Well, I don't know if the Android's necessarily any better, but the thing is the iPhone tends to get rattled around a lot. That's one thing that's obvious. But the battery in the
Somebody
Android...
down there in Texas, man, get the dang iPhone.
The battery in my Android phone, even though I replaced it a couple times, because it's a replaceable battery, it still dies too damn fast. I think I'm getting bad batteries. I think I'm getting crappy, cheap old batteries that probably left over from some warehouse somewhere that hasn't been replaced after all those years.
Man, you get that dang iPhone, that battery will go, okay, hook on dang small engine motor and charge that thing back up, man. Come on down to Texas, we'll go hook you up, man.
Yeah, okay,
Man, I'll drive for 795, man.
The first problem is that I don't know how much Ed wants to spend on getting the cortisone cream or Bactration or whatever. He has no idea how expensive medications are becoming, and I don't know if he's going to get sick.
And that man fucking in his ass so much, man. That boy done got his back blown up, man. Come on, man. So many dudes laying on top of him. That boy, the homeless man, came up there and said, man, well, feed me, man. Come on, man. It done been fucked in the ass, man.
I agree, Boomhauer.
Yeah, 100%. It's coming in here, too. The cold.
That ain't no more homeless, man.
How's the weather where you're at, Boomhauer?
What I said is true.
Nice and sunny, man. Shit, it's great down here.
Nice and sunny.
What I'm trying to say is Ed has no idea how expensive any kind of creams have gotten at the store lately. I think he thinks everything is still cheap at the 5 and dime price. I can tell you right now, it ain't. Because, I bought him the cherry pills. I paid $10 for those for 100 capsules. And, that was what I paid for last time. But that was on sale. I got it for that price. But the thing is that they were like $13 otherwise. Everything's gone up in price. I don't know how much he's going to be paying for antibiotic cream. I don't know. But the truth is I can't afford to buy any more stuff right now until I get paid by both Social Security and Patreon. Let me remind you guys one thing nicely. YouTube money is nice.
Get on dang Patreon. Try that old Mr. Man.
Bomar, park it for a minute, okay? I know.
All right, man. Yeah, man.
All right.
Everybody
talks about how great the super chats are and the super stickers are. They're nice. But you know what? Here's the problem. They don't pay me until the end of the month. And you have to have at least $100 in your account before you get paid. Fantastic. Patreon, however, pays me at the beginning of the month when I need the money mostly to pay my bills. This is the reason why we really have to get more donations coming into Patreon. It's just like the YouTube. You get membership. You get it's a big difference. It helps a lot with the bills, big time. And then of course, donations.
Man, get your dang old scooter like corrected, man. Come on, man. Ride around with no head, man. Play bumper car, man. Shit.
I don't remember. It's donations, donation singular. Okay, it's donate. Okay, donations.
Yeah, hopefully, it'll be good that Ed gets out of the house for a bit, gets moving around. We should try and do this at least, once or twice a week.
Yeah.
We get him out there moving.
I tell you what to do, man. Ship head down Dingo, Texas down here, and we'll take care of him down. We'll put him across the Mexican border and let the cartel get him. Man, come on, man.
He likes the heat. So I'm sure he'd like Texas. It's very warm down there.
Man, we make sure they don't kill him, man. Man, that boy will be dead in 2 days, man. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. True.
Yeah.
Man, I got him to go fat Mexican next door, man. Get on top of it and fuck him in there, man. Man, I got him to ring off here, man. Go kill him, go niggers, man. Bye.
All right, Boom Howard, thanks for calling in.
All
right. Clear out that line, Michelle.
I think you rang off already.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So anyway, like I said, for people who don't know,
medications are going up. Yeah, everything's going up in price, Michelle.
I think that the most important people have to understand is when you talk about the different ways money's donated, YouTube doesn't pay me if I don't have more than $100 worth of earnings. Now, this month I'm close to $100 coming up for April. So, I don't get paid until May 21st. So, that means if I don't hit the money by May 21st, I don't get paid. So, then it gets carried over to the month next week, means I won't get paid until June 21st. But Patreon pays me regardless. So if you become a patron, you still support the channel, and you also still make the channel better, and I get paid at the beginning of the month. So that's important to remember because that helps me pay the bills.
I think you'll be all right, Michelle. You should have plenty by May 21st? That's a long ways away still. Good 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
Be all right. So we'll see tonight if we do some World of Warcraft, and I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I guess we'll get that figured out later.
Also, I'd like to try to get some more people to join me on Blizzard.net on the other game server so I can get my other characters leveled up, too.
If you guys play World of Warcraft on retail, join Michelle. Help her out with their character. But yeah, we'll see what we get into tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's today? Wednesday. We should be all right. We'll see.
It's already 12:16, so we'll see what happens with 7 o'clock tonight. And it's already up, so I guess he's gonna get ready to go out now. Or did he go back to bed? I don't know.
You guys have a good, safe trip out in Winstead today. Get some fresh air. Get some sunshine.
Elias has to go. He said he wanted to take a nap until about 3 or 4 o'clock. I don't know what his plans are right now, but all right.
Well, Michelle,
So
I'll
see you tonight. Okay.
Yeah, you guys have a good day. Everyone in chat, you and Ed, everyone have a good one. We'll talk to you later.
Okay. Yep.
Take care. All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye. So that's that. I must be getting hay fever. Yeah, it's as far as backgrounds go, I like this background because it's a little more relaxed. It's not too fast. Of course, it would be nice if there was a fire in the fireplace in the wintertime over there. But I didn't see one with a fire in the fireplace. Which sounds like something that should be an option for a winter scene, right? A little winter scene, a little fireplace. Yeah, I would like to see that. Just like to see that. Also, I'd like to see more people join us up on the different networks and stuff like that too. But anyway, we had a good night, good morning show. Of course, it was kind of sad that not too many people besides Paul on the piano today, but still, it was a pretty good show. Yes, we did start out with a topic this morning. It got a little bit derailed, but not too bad. So for now, I'm gonna let you guys go. You guys take care of what you gotta do, and talk to you later.